welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandi and I'm a full-time reseller. If you are new around here, this is my What Sold Wednesday video where I go over everything that has sold for the week. I did take a week off last week. I will go over that in a little bit. So this week is actually going to be 2 weeks, so September 2nd through the 15th. So before I get into the numbers, I guess I'll just kind of go over what I did last week, why I wasn't making videos. If this isn't your cup of tea, I will put up here where you can skip the video and you will get to what actually sold. So last week I had the house to myself for the weekend and I thought on Sunday I'm going to make a whole vlog of what I do on Sundays. That is normally my, I guess you could say, my busiest day of the week. That's when I tend to do the most for my business, and then throughout the week it's not as hectic for me. I know that doesn't always work with everyone else's schedules, but I don't have kids, so unless I'm doing something like I'm out of town or something like that, Sundays just happen to work the best for me. I do a lot of thrifting that day. I do a lot of listing, and I am the type of person that does bulk listings. So I have a whole bunch of drafts ready to go for the week, depending on how much inventory I have available to me. But anyway, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to show everybody what I do. This will be a really fun video. I got up on Sunday and it was just like, no, I was in such a crabby mood. I thought what I'll do is I'll just skip the intro. I'll do it later. I'll go thrifting and then we'll just kind of see how it goes from there. I didn't find anything at either Goodwill, so that made me an even worse mood I already was. So anyone that knows or anyone that does YouTube videos or anything like that, you know that it can take a lot out of you. You don't want to get behind a camera and be in a piss poor mood and try and look happy. I'm the type of person where my facial expressions are very easily determined on how I'm feeling. So needless to say, Sunday was pretty much a wash. I ended up doing pretty much nothing. I was in a horrible mood from just being crabby and sales weren't great. So I just took the entire day off and just disassociated and watched the most ridiculous show on Netflix, Virgin River. I've seen it once already, but it's just kind of one of those comfort shows to me because it is absolutely ridiculous and in no way anyone's real reality. So I just sat on the couch and watched that literally all day. And then my mood just kind of continued into the week. I just did not have any type of ambition to do a video. I don't know if it's slightly that I'm just getting burnt out with YouTube, maybe. I don't know. I think it's part of that. It's part of just sales not being where it wants to be. So then I kind of have this idea in the back of my head, like, what information can I give you? Because obviously what I'm doing is not working. So then that kind of, gives me a little bit of that little daunting voice, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't be doing this because, it's not working. So what value am I giving to people that are watching my videos? So that kind of was in the back of my head. I've had an issue with one of my eyes for like the last 3 weeks. I woke up one day and I had vision loss. I do have some vision loss permanently in my left eye. Since I was born, that I've dealt with, but this was different. It was more, prevalent how I was seeing. So I did make an emergency eye appointment with my eye doctor, and they said, I thought for sure my retina was detaching and of course going down this spiral of I'm going to be blind and whatever. Anyway, she told me that it is essentially my brain is misfiring in certain parts of my eye, causing vision loss, and that it should just go away at some point. And I'm like, what does that even mean? So she said, are you feeling stressed? And I said, I don't think so. Like, I don't feel stressed, but maybe I am with, just how my business is going right now. So I was dealing with that this last week. It seems to be getting better. I don't know. I've been having really bizarre dreams. So maybe there is just some stress that I am suppressing and not realizing that it's there. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take a week off of something. I couldn't do reselling because that's, essentially where I'm making my money right now. So I thought YouTube is just going to have to take a break. So it did, and I do feel a little bit better about it. I think I just need to find that passion again for it. I don't know. It's just things we're really kind of feeling and still kind of do a little bit mundane because it's like what sold video, maybe a Friday video, and then a Monday video. And like, I'm not a huge person on thrift hauls just because I don't know, it's what I'm picking up. It's not what is actually selling. So I don't do too many of those. I don't do a bunch of unboxings anymore because I've kind of gotten away from that a little bit. I do have some other videos kind of that I'm thinking about. So hopefully I get a little bit more inspiration or something here in the next couple days to be more excited about YouTube. I don't think I'm going to go anywhere, but I don't know, maybe I'll take some more breaks. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. So with that, last week I did end up going to a different place in town. It is a consignment store, but you can also rent a booth, and it's all clothing, accessories, shoes, that type of thing. I had gone to the store when they were in a different location and I wasn't too impressed with what was there. I had looked into what their consignment and booth fees were. I thought they were pretty high, so I just really didn't think much about it until they moved to this new location, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna check it out. So I did go. I got some good pieces. I got a St. John cardigan with a skirt for $20. I couldn't believe that. And a different cardigan, it was button front, and that one was $15. And then a pair of Circus by Sam Edelman, really chunky black heels, perfect for homecoming, prom, all of that. I got that. And I think I paid, that was half off, and they were only like $6.39 to begin with. Those have already sold. So I thought like, oh, this is going to be a new place for me to kind of look into. Since they do have the consignment piece and then they have the booth piece. So since that kind of intrigued me because it doesn't have to just be Play-Dohs type stuff. If you are new to the channel, I am someone that sells to Play-Dohs at least once a week, and I've been doing very well there, but that is, you know, kind of condensing what I can get because it's only for that certain demographic, where this one is a little bit broader. From what I could tell in brands and sizes and styles, it would be like high school girl to more mature woman. And I can find quite a few pieces that are new with tags that are, you know, decent quality items for more mature women, but I've never had anywhere to consign it, you know, because it was either I send it to ThredUp and who knows what's going to happen there, or I sell it myself, which I'm not always super excited to sell those type of items, where if I could get things at the bins and just get money for it right away, that would be great. Okay, so for the consignment piece, I have it pulled up here. I want everybody's opinion on if I should do one of these, both of these, or if you think it's a bad idea. So the consignment piece, you get 35% for $0 to $200, which I'm never going to have anything more than that, so I'm not going to go over the remainder of the percentages because that's just not feasible for me. And they will determine what they're going to price the item for. They're gonna, you bring in your bag, they'll look through it, and if there's any pieces that they're like, that's just not really what we're looking for, they'll let you know, you come pick it up. Otherwise, they price everything. It says they do put everything on sale, which is kind of like, so after 60 days, it's 25% off. After 90 days, 50% off. After 120 days, 75% off. And then before they would donate the items, they would put it on their dollar rack or their dollar bin. So if you want your items back, you have to physically go into the store and find them. They're not going to keep them for you. They will just donate them at that point. So that's, I don't love that, but you know, if my cost of goods are low enough and I feel confident in what I'm giving them, I'm hoping that, you know, it wouldn't get to even the 50% off mark, but you know, maybe, you never know. So that is how the consignment piece would work. So I'm not going to get paid, you know, on the spot like you do at Play-Dohs. I would have to wait for the items to sell. It seems a little bit better to me than ThredUp just because there's not going to be items that I just don't see anymore because they decided that they didn't want to list it, or, you know, whatever the reason may be. They did have a couple brands on there that were like, we aren't accepting this. That was like Walmart brands, I think some Target brands. So now for the booth rental, which I'll pop up a picture here so you can kind of see what it is. It's really just like a rack and then it has some shelving on it. When I originally looked at this, I think it was over $100 fee for the month. And that's why I was like, there's no way, because you'd have to make enough sales for the month to cover that $100, plus, keep in mind what your cost of goods are to try and make money, I thought was a little bit hard. Now they've dropped it to $80 for a month, or you can do $45 for 2 weeks. So it's still kind of high, but in theory, I've spent $80 on a lot worse items or things for my business than this. So when I was looking through the booths, because I was just kind of wanting to get an idea of what people were selling, a lot of it, there were some where you could tell it was probably a teenage girl that just didn't care, and the items were not in great condition. I saw, combat boots with broken zippers. So obviously I think I'm going to have a better eye on what I'm putting in there, just because I know what people are looking for, but I am better at looking for flaws than I think the average person selling their items. So you would pay that amount. I'm thinking I would do the month, give it a try. And it says you have the booth and a hanging rod for 25 to 35 hanging items, and then 3 shelves to display purses, hats, accessories, and shoes. You get to tag your own items, so I get to make up my own prices. And they provide the tags and tagging instructions in an email, and they also provide the hangers. So really all I am providing them is the clothing. There is a setup time every Monday, 3:30 to 5:30, so you'd go in and kind of make it how you want. And then vendors are paid within 3 days of booth takedown, and the payout is 65% of your sales. So the way I figure is I'd have to sell, let's say I had 3 items for $20. I'm going to get 65, so half of that would be like $30 a week, would definitely cover the booth fees, because it's $20 a week. I think that is doable. I think I have items that are something people are looking for that I can price up even more than that. I have so many of those wider brim hats that are new with tags. Some of them are Brixton. They're just not moving very well online, but Plato's did take quite a few of those. So they must know something that I don't know in the community, that people are looking for that. With Plato's, I probably only got a couple dollars for those hats, so I could mark those up a little bit. Same thing with items that I've had in my Poshmark closet that just are not moving. I live in a town that's not huge, so some of these brands could be intriguing for people. I have a lot of good American jeans that for whatever reason online can't move them. They're new with tags. Some of them are really good sizes, where if you were in person, maybe someone would be willing to, pay $30, $40 for those jeans. Same thing with some of my Free People stuff. That's not something you see, every day here, just because of the location. So some of that maybe I could throw in on the booths too. So I don't know. It's something that I'm going to think about. I think maybe in the next week or so, I will contact them to see how far out they are on their booths, just because I don't want to get too far into winter if I have a bunch of fall things that I'm thinking about. Like those brimmed hats are definitely more of a fall thing than, let's say a January thing. So I think I'm going to do it. I would love your opinion on if you've ever done something like this in the past, what you thought. Like I said, I've spent $80 on horrible boxes before and got zero benefit from it. So if anything, this would be a learning experience just to see how it goes. I can't imagine that I wouldn't sell anything in a month, but you never know. Okay, so let's get back into what the video is actually about. Like I said, this is for 2 weeks. Mercari, I did have one big sale. Otherwise, it's been pretty slow there. I've been saying this for the last couple months. Right after Mercari changed their whole fee structure, it was great for 2 months, and now it's just really fallen off. Poshmark, slow. I don't understand what Poshmark wants me to do. I watched some videos on PoshFest and what they said, is the way to get more sales and whatever. I don't know. I'm just kind of on the outs right now with Poshmark. eBay has definitely been the front runner. So happy that I upped my store amount because I have so much more freedom on listing. I did run a 40% off sale on summer items that I've had for quite a while. I need to do better on really discounting, the last season stuff to just get it out of here, because I know I'm going to find more inventory. There's no reason that I need to hang on to all of these shorts for next summer. None of them are oh, I'm going to make $50 on this. So I need to do a little bit better on that so that I don't have a whole bunch of it going into the next season. I did have 2 bundle sales on eBay, which was nice. That's always a good thing. And then on Depop has really kind of been taking off for me, which is great. I've definitely been doing more style sourcing, especially at the bins. I have made it a point for me to stay there longer. Before it was like, just get in and out as fast as I can because it's so warm. And I said, you know what? If I want to find good things, I'm gonna have to take my time and really look through things. So I have been listening to audiobooks. I got a new pair of like little earbuds. They're wireless. I'm not the type of person that likes the kind like the, what are they, the AirPods where they go in the ear. These ones go over it. If anyone's interested, I'll put a link below. They're very comfortable. They just sit like kind of right on the top of your ear. But anyways, I've been listening to audiobooks. I've been flying through audiobooks. So if anyone has any series or books they've listened to recently that they really like, please put that below because I'm running out of things to put in my queue. I will listen to just about anything. I guess I kind of prefer more thriller, mystery, horror, that kind of stuff. But I'm not opposed to like self-help books, biographies, anything like that. Put that in the comments below. I had a great week on Depop the first week, and then the second one was a little bit slower, which that's okay. Okay, so I will scoot over and we will get into the actual sales. First, we're gonna start with Poshmark, this Maurice's top. I bought this originally just because it screamed fall to me. If you are new to the channel, I have some sort of weird soft spot for Maurice's and I always pick it up at the bins as long as the style is okay. This one was new with tags. It was a size medium and it did go for an offer of $15. This Land's End cashmere turtleneck I just picked up at the bins probably 2 weeks ago. There was a little small discoloration on the sleeve. I did let this one go for $22. Next up is a pair of Old Navy pull-on wide leg trouser pants. These were also new with tags in a size extra large. This came from Goodwill on $1.99 day. Cool. This is a brand that I've kind of been a little bit more pickier about. I do think I have 2 sales from this brand this 2 weeks, but these were a size 8 petite straight leg and they did have cargo pockets. These did go for $29. These Tory Burch Peep Toe Wedge sandals came in a thread-up shoebox not too long ago, and these did go for an offer of $30. This ASOS dress I should have looked over better at the store. It was $3.99 on clearance. I, did kind of look at the top, make sure there wasn't any holes like in the armpits or the seams, made sure the zipper worked. The one place I did not look was like the hemline at the bottom. There were a couple holes. Somebody probably was wearing it that maybe the dress was a little bit too long and it caught on a heel or something. But this did have a lot of likes on Mercari and Poshmark. This ended up going for an offer of $30 in like 2 days, which is not bad. If it wouldn't have had those damages to the bottom, I probably would have went for more, but I'm okay with $30. Soft Surroundings, this is a brand that I still pick up depending on the style. This was only a size small, but this one had a unique enough style that I thought it would sell. Probably only took like a month and a half for $27. Next up is like high-low mesh type skirt. This was definitely part of a costume. I did put that in the listing. I said fabric is comparable to a costume just so someone was aware that's what this was going to feel like. I'm sure that this is probably what they bought it for. It did end up going for my full asking price of $17, and this came from the bins. This, I think it's Lounge. I think that's right. I only have one left of these. This was a set of the toning shampoo. This ended up going for an offer of $22. These Madden Girl strappy platform sandals I found at Goodwill probably 2 weeks ago. For some reason, they only had them for $3.99. I don't know why. I don't know, maybe they thought they were kids. I'm not sure. They didn't have a size in them, so I did measure them. They ended up being like a 10, 10 and a half, so I don't know how they would have thought that they were kids. But these did sell, I think, within 2 days of listing. These Cole Haan leopard like calf hair heels, I've had these for a while. They came in a thread-up box. Someone did offer me $24. This Manduka, I don't know this brand. I'm assuming it might be like an Amazon type of deal. This I got at Goodwill for $1.99. It had thumb holes, very ballet core with the tie front there. This sold, I think, within 2 days for $14. Next up is BKE. This is a brand that I have been looking at their jeans a little bit more. In the past, I used to think like, oh, nobody's wearing BKE jeans. Like, I don't think it's a big deal. but I was very wrong because every pair that I've ever picked up, it sells quickly and it sells for quite a bit. These did go for $30. I haven't really found anything that sells better than other pieces, so I just make sure to look up the style name. This is the first time I've found this brand. It was a blue flannel button front, got it at the bins not too long ago. I had it way overpriced for the summertime. I lowered the price, relisted it, and someone did come in and buy it for $35. Express, this is another brand that I've kind of been dabbling in a little bit, especially with their pants. These were the Editor's Straight Super High Rise. They were cropped in a size 10, and there were a couple spots of discoloration, and they did go for $22. Next up is Beta Brand. I wasn't even 100% sure if I still had these. I was like, please don't let me have to cancel a sale. But I did. I know at one point I kind of went through everything that was Beta Brand and just sent it to ThredUp if it was a plain black pull-on pant like this. Now I'm very, very picky on Beta Brand. It's got to be a good size and have like a pretty, unique print. And even then I'm still a little bit hesitant. These did end up going for $20. This Counting Crows shirt, this came from Walmart. I got a bunch of Counting Crows and the Black Crows shirts for $1. A couple of them sold this week. So $15. This has definitely been paid for now. So all of these are in the profit. Next up is a Freddy Krueger Dream Warrior shirt. I was on a kick probably 3 years ago where I was finding a bunch of the horror shirts at Walmart and then I was bleach dyeing them. I think bleach dye kind of had its moment. There are still some shirts that you find like that, still some people that do enjoy it. But this was the last one I have, I think. I'm guessing it was probably because it was a size small. If this would have been my size, I definitely would have kept it. I just couldn't get rid of this one because I love Freddy Krueger. He's my favorite of the whole horror crew. This did end up going for $15. Next up is another cool piece. This was a heavier weight, like shacket, I guess you could call it. A size large, and this, I think, sold probably within a month of listing. Next up is Vince Camuto. These type of dresses, I normally know when I pick them up, it's gonna take a while. You need to find the right buyer, because not everybody is buying a dress like this. It's not something you wear on a daily basis. I do normally put in the description like mother of the special occasion, wedding date or wedding dress or wedding guest, ball, those type of things, because that's normally where you're going to wear these. This did end up going for an offer of $55. Now on to Mercari Royal Bones. This brand I probably would not pick up again. I know this is still kind of in style, like this pleated mini skirt. I've just been having a hard time selling these type of skirts recently, so I've just kind of given up on them. This, I think, was the last one I had. It did go for my full asking price of $22. This was the sale of the week. Well, maybe I had another one that was over $100. I can't remember. These Fly London boots I got at Goodwill not too long ago. They were $14.99. It took me 2 seconds to put them in my cart as soon as I saw that they were Fly London. I didn't even look them up. I knew that they would be good just based on the style, and these were a size 8. There was a lot of interest on these on all platforms. Thankfully, it did go on Mercari since there aren't any fees, and I did take an offer of $125. Next up is a Kemi and Kin. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not sure. This dress I've had forever. This was one of those deals where I was looking on Poshmark and trying to bundle items together to resell, and it was a total fail. Everything I got in that bundle sat forever. So this one finally did go for $30. Next up is Archaic by Affliction. These shirts have really been selling for me. Anything with like that tribal look to it. This one did end up going for an offer of $22.50. Now onto eBay, these Loft jeans. These were high-rise, wide leg, and then they did have that little detail on the hem there. These ended up going for an offer or full price sale of $38. Next up is Cut Loose. This brand I've done very well with. I'm thinking 100% sell-through. I don't think I have anything left from that. I'm pretty sure this was linen. This did end up going for $21.99. Knox Rose, this is a very fall looking dress, tiered plaid. This one ended up going for $18. This was picked up at the bins. Another one of those shirts from Walmart. This one was the Black Crows. This one did go for an offer of $16. This was a bundle sale. It's like peel and stick, but it's not wallpaper. It's like a fabric. Vintage from the 90s. There was this one and the other one. They both ended up going for $14. I think I paid maybe $2 for both of them at Goodwill. Next up is a J. Crew top. This came in that horrible, was it Helpsy Source, I think, J. Crew box. This one ended up going for an offer of $20. This was another great sale. I found these at Goodwill. As soon as I picked them up, I knew they were something. They kind of gave me bed stew vibes, or like Freebird. I didn't know this brand, AS98, so I did look it up while I was there. The comps blew me away, so I was like, yes, I'll definitely pay $7.99 for these. These ended up going for an offer of $75 and sold within 2 days of listing. These type of tops are doing amazing for me recently. They are kind of like a hippie look. They have a faux wrap. They have the bell sleeves. This one ended up going for an offer of $21. So many likes on these on Depop. This was another thing I found at the bins, a whole bunch of these. I'm not sure, the brand I think is it Bloch, B-L-O-C-H, Bloch? I can't remember. It must be Bloch, not Bloch. I don't know. It is like a dance leotard type brand, and I found a whole stack of these. They were all new with tags. They were women's sizing and girl sizing. They were all leotards and then one pair of women's shorts. I've sold quite a few of the leotards already. This was the first one to go. It did go for an offer of $13. A New Balance jacket. This was an overseas sale, I believe to, I think Australia. And this one did go for an offer of $20. This was also a bins pickup. Next up is Rough Hewn. This I had originally bought to go to Plato's. This came from the Goodwill bins, and this actually went for $23. This was another great sale. Amsel, I think is how you pronounce this brand. Someone did buy it and then immediately messaged me, and I was like, oh no, they're gonna cancel it. But they just needed to know when I was shipping it because they needed to make an appointment with the seamstress because this was going to be a bridesmaid's dress. So I was like, okay, so as soon as they alter it, you know what I mean? Like, they can't return it. So thankfully it's been delivered. She, I think, gave me positive feedback already, so it shouldn't be coming back. So that was great. This was a full price sale of $125. This is another bundle. This went on my 40% off sale. This was like a boho vacation dress and then a Kona sole, like split leg, I guess you could call it, pants that you could wear over a swimsuit. This ended up going for $31.20. Both of these came from the bins. Next up was J. Jill. This was a pullover sweatshirt. This thing was so soft. It felt like Lululemon, so I couldn't leave it behind. It was in great condition at the bins. This one did go for my full asking price of $22. These Athleta pants really surprised me. Normally Athleta, I've been very, very picky. I don't pick up leggings really much anymore and like skinny type things, but I thought something made me think, like, just look at the comps, and the comps were pretty good. These were a pull-on jegging, and they did go for my full asking price of $29. This soft surrounding skirt I could not leave behind. It was at Goodwill. Picked it up for $4.99. It was all embroidered, really pretty blue and teal maxi length and an extra large. This one did end up going for $39. These AG Adriana Goldschmied skinny corduroy pants I got in a Quick Lots box probably a year ago. I did end up lowering the price. I had them pretty high. And someone did end up coming in and buying them for $28. Here's another one of those Bloch dance leotards. This one was a woman's sizing, and this one went for an offer of $19. Corningware, I got this at, I think I got it at the Goodwill bins the last time I was there. Just a 1-quart casserole dish with the lid, and this did go for my full asking price of $18.99. Three People, this was another one that went on my 40% off sale. This one came in a Quick Lots box. I was surprised that I had it for this long. It was a skort, actually, not a skirt. So this one did end up going for $21. And this thing was a mount for your car and your phone. This came in a mystery box at one of those bin stores. I had like cents into each one. I listed this one even though it was obviously open box, but I didn't know what else to do with it other than just donate it. Someone did offer me $5 and I figured that's fine. The last sale for eBay were these Fit Flops. I did pay up for these just because Fit Flops are very expensive new. I think I paid like $10 for them at Goodwill, and they did end up going for an offer of $30.50. Now onto Depop. These No Boundary, like tall corduroy shoes I've had for quite a while. They've been to Plato's a couple times. They kept passing on it. These did end up finally going for $20. This Wilson leather jacket I knew was going to do well. It was a little bit more fitted and cropped. This one did end up going for $56. This green jacket, I think, had over, it was like 50 or 60 likes or whatever they call it on Depop. I knew the second I saw this at the bins that this is where it probably would sell. The Y2K 90s, this one ended up going for $35. Another one of the Counting Crows shirts, this one went for $16. This skirt I picked up at the Goodwill bins. I think it was Coldwater Creek, or no, Christopher and Banks. Floral, maxi length. I used romantic, feminine, boho, dreamy, girly, timeless, all in the title, and this one ended up going for $22.50. Here's another vintage 90s dress from the bins. This one was asymmetrical, just had a really cool print to it. This ended up going for $20. And then the last item was this express sweater. This came in, what was that? Like a thread-up women's box or something that was pretty bad. I did list this just based on the style. It is very Y2K, kind of preppy with that cropped cardigan look to it, and this did end up going for $16. Looking at the totals for last 2 weeks, Poshmark $520 for 20 items sold, Mercari $213.50 for 5 items sold, eBay $814.85 for 24 items sold, and Depop $185.50 for 7 items sold. So my total in gross sales was $1,733.85, and then total profit after I take out my average cost of goods and the platform fees is $1,157.52 for 56 items sold. Going into next week, I am going to continue what I'm doing. I am trying to get more items at the bins so that I can up how many items I am listing. The only issue I'm kind of running into is space, so I might have to go through my bins again. I have been doing that and sending a lot of things to Plato's that just really aren't worth the time that I probably should have taken to list them, just so that I have some more room for, better inventory. I do have some thoughts that I think I'm going to go over on a different video on how to kind of revamp my inventory space, just because I think that there is room for improvement and maybe some spots where I can get some more bins in there, which would help. As far as videos go, I will have one out Friday. I'm going back to my little short videos on Friday. This one is going to be on different dresses and different cuts of dresses, A-line, fit and flare, all of those. I think those are pretty important, especially when people are looking for certain types of dresses. They know it fits their body better. And, if you are using the correct terms, it might help people to, pull into your listing. I know this video was a long one. Obviously, I had a lot to say to you guys, even though I was only gone for a week. So if you've stayed, thank you. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give it a like. It really helps out the channel and I really appreciate it. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.